What's up? I am back for another solo round. It is just me, no one else. And you're probably like, why are you doing another solo one? That's kind of lame. And you might be right. I can't blame you for thinking that. But it's because I just wanted to get some stuff off my chest. I wanted to vent a little bit. It's probably, if you haven't figured out by now, um, these are my venting sessions. So you all are my therapists. This is me laying down on a couch, uh, airing out all my dirty laundry for you all to hear. And so, make sure you give me feedback. Like, Aaron, you need to go see a real psychologist to work out your serious problems and your serious mental illness. And I would understand if you felt that way. So if you want to give me some feedback like that, totally get it. But about 2 weeks ago, I postponed one of the episodes, and I mentioned on my Instagram page that I had something important that I wanted to release. And so that week, and it just didn't end up working out. And so I went a week without publishing anything. And the reason for that is I was going to interview my older sister, Alyssa, about some things, and she got really sick, and I'll get to that a little later. Um, and so this will maybe be like a part one, just like a precursor to me actually talking to her and explaining some things that went on with herself. And I won't get it too much ahead of myself, but and then so I wasn't able to release anything that week, and then obviously last week I did the interview with Danny, which I'm so grateful for you all supporting that, and he is too. I was just in Arizona for a beautiful wedding of Ramon and Kelsey, two of my really good friends, and I was able to see Danny there, and he was just giving me some of the feedback that he got from just some of his people that he works with and that he trains, and they really loved it. And so, guys, I can't say this enough. I'm so grateful that you guys take an hour or an hour and a half out of your day to listen to me. However you do it, whether you break it up into increments of 15 minutes or 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, whatever it is, I am grateful that you all care enough to hear what I have to say or hear what my guests have to say. Or maybe it's just a pity listen. I don't know. So when I call you out, I'm like, yo, did you listen to my podcast? You're like able to say, yeah, I did. No, I would never do that. I'm so grateful that you all support me and follow me and keep up. And again, give me feedback. I'd appreciate it if you want to hop on. Let me know. I got some great interviews online coming forward, looking ahead. But if you want to hop on here and talk about something you're passionate about, by all means. I might not know what you're talking about, but hey, I'll ask some questions and we'll get the conversation rolling. And again, I'm just so grateful for you all setting time aside. But when I'm by myself, I typically talk about some of the things I see going on in the world, and I follow politics just like many of you. And man, I so let me just say this: October at my church is supposed to be a no negative October, meaning that we speak only positive things at my church. So in our own personal lives, we're going to just do our best to speak positivity and speak life, right? Power and death are in the power of the tongue. That's what the Bible says. And so, right, we want to speak life, and whether that's over Joe Biden, whether that's over Donald Trump, however, whichever side of the aisle you fall on, if you call yourself a Christian, you should definitely be praying for your leaders. And I can be definitely, I'm the first one to admit that, do I always do the best job in praying for those above me, praying for my headship as far as government goes? No, I don't. And so that's something I'm working on, something I'm sure many of us could work on. And so, I'm going to do my best to get through this episode with no negativity. I'm just going to try and really just phrase some things maybe in a different way. That way, I don't know. There's no promises. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and maybe I'll just start tomorrow with the no negativity thing. No, I'm starting today. Okay, let me just get to. I'm not going to keep you guys long. Let me get to what I wanted to talk about. Listen. Okay, actually, off the bat, I'm going to say something very negative. Our politicians do not care about you. Oof, I said it. Let me try and phrase it in a less negative way. Our politicians have their own interests in mind. And as much as we like to give them the benefit of the doubt in thinking that we are on their mind, we are not. Maybe some of us are. I would typically say those that agree with them are on their mind. Those that question, those that say, hey, what's really going on here? You know, I don't know if we're on their mind. And I don't think they have our best interests at heart. I've said this before many times. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we are seeing that day in and day out with President Biden, with Gavin Newsom, with the new governor of New York. And it is really sad to see. Listen, they're going to do what they're going to do. They are so extreme, so far to the left. And listen, if you're on the left, if you're a Democrat, I'm trying to appeal to you. If you're in the middle, I want to appeal to you, because I don't think you can defend them any longer. It's been a year and a half of them lying out of their butts, lying like nobody's business, being completely hypocritical. They are liars. They are deceivers. And they do not have your best interests at heart. They have their bottom dollar at heart. And that's not conspiracy. That's just fact. Gavin Newsom closed down every single small business except for his own winery, stayed open. You know, they're able to have the Met Gala. They're able to have, these different events. And Gavin Newsom's like, oh, well, Hollywood and movie actors, they're able to, their priority and they're essential, but you're a small business, sorry about it, suck it up, buttercup, get out of the way, move along. I'm going to use your parking lot for a outdoor film studio where the movie actors can eat. Why? Those are his donors. Guys, it's about money. So much of this is about money. Oh, Aaron, you're conspiracy. No, I'm just a realist. I just look at things objectively. And I'm wondering, when are we all going to look at things objectively? Aren't you tired of being lied to? Aren't you tired of being kicked to the curb and spat on by these politicians that don't even know your name, but yet act as if they do? Oh, I just, I care about your grandma. I really do. So just stay home forever and ever like Australia and get beaten up on the street for not wearing a mask like Australia. Oh, and also give me all your guns. Let's just take away the second. Yeah, right. Take away my guns after what we're seeing in Australia. Australia had a great buyback program. It worked supernaturally. Yeah, as they're getting thrown down in the street by police officers, and they have nothing to defend themselves. Complete authoritarian, fascistic tactics being used in Australia right now. It is insane. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just do a quick YouTube search before they take it down. It is insane. These people have lied over and over and over again, and we, the sheep, we, the people of the United States, the sheep that we are, have continued to defend them and think that they have our best interests at heart. They do not. They do not. Fauci does not. He does not. He worries about money, worries about getting the vaccine into people's bodies. And listen, I got to be careful about what I say about, treatments and stuff. My other video got taken down when I mentioned the I word. If you don't know what I'm talking about, my episode with Jessica Ruby is still on the podcast app as well as Spotify. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, you can go ahead and listen to that. but it got taken off of YouTube. I won't mention the word, but it is a real treatment. Joe Rogan took it. Many people have taken it. Many studies have been done. Dr. Corey Peters has a lot of research and has been on YouTube. Some of the videos that haven't been taken down are still on YouTube talking about the efficacy of the I word, but I'm not going to mention it. So go look it up, as I've said. But listen, that's part of the reason why I believe it's about money. They're taking away other treatments. They're taking away other things that actually have the cure, that can help, have a remedy for COVID-19, and yet whoever it is, I don't even know who it is. I really don't. Is it the CDC? Is it WHO? Is it Pfizer? Is it Moderna? Is it J&J? Is it Biden? Is it Jim Justice? I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they don't want you to hear this information. And that's pretty nerve-wracking. I'm not scared, like I don't fear these things, these people, but it is a pretty nerve-wracking and unsettling thing that just like that, they can take information down that is truth, that is factual, that thousands of doctors have stood behind and said, hey, this helps. This is a solid treatment for COVID-19. And they just take it down like nothing. Like, oh, you didn't hear that. He's lying. He's a liar. Only listen to Lord and Savior Dr. Fauci, Anthony Fauci, all held a saint, which people are. He is a saint in some households. They literally have, was it crescents? I don't even know what the word is, but, where he's a saint. The candle thing where his face is on it and they burn. Yeah, that's Saint Fauci. They have those and they sell them. You can buy one online, probably Amazon. It's a cult. It really is. This COVID cult. It's insane. And I'm just waiting for us to wake up. I'm waiting for us to wake up. Oh, and so I just want to go over a couple things. COVID is such a tired topic. It's such a tired topic, but it has affected our lives so much. The government officials have affected our lives so much. It's not even COVID. It's really not. It's the way these government officials have handled it, mishandled it, took over swaths of power because of it, and are continuing to keep power. And I'm just waiting, sitting here, waiting for people to revolt like they are in France, like they are in Italy. Not revolt. Oh, I'm going to get taken down. But at least speak up. Well, the FBI just came out and said that they're going to target parents who are coming out against critical race theory. Wow, that's a great use of resources. Wow, FBI, great use of resources. So it's not okay when parents go to an actual school board meeting where it's actually supposed to happen and talk to the school board parents about what is going on in the classroom. But it is okay for crazy people to follow senators into a bathroom and scream at them for not doing what they want. That's okay. That's okay. But, go to a school board meeting, raise your voice a little bit, and the FBI is going to sick their dogs on you. Guys, wake up. I'm waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. And, before we even talk about is a solution bigger than the problem type deal? What is the problem? You can't have an honest discussion about COVID without setting some groundwork about what COVID is. And it's almost like people don't even want to hear that. Like, what is COVID? What is COVID? Oh, it's a sickness that attacks your lungs, your breathing. Okay. And it could kill you. Well, okay, we're a year and a half in, and we see who it's affecting. We see who it's affecting: the elderly, 3 to 4 comorbidity problems, people with the lack of vitamin D and deficiencies, and there are other remedies. No. It's like you can't even say that because COVID is the biggest problem in the world when in reality it's not. Statistically speaking, it's not. 99% survival rating. Oh, that's not you. You can't say that. Like what? What? You can't even have an honest discussion about what COVID is. It's like COVID's the biggest problem in the world, and the only solution is these mandates. Only solution in the world. And so many people are falling in line and saying, yeah, you're right. That's the only solution. These mandates. Oh, Lord Jesus, let's just have these mandates and save everyone. And, zero COVID, which is not even a thing. It was never a thing until like 2 days ago when Fauci was like, oh, yeah, zero COVID. I can't even do a Fauci accent. That's terrible. But he's terrible. He's the worst. He's terrible. Just wants power. He craves power. He craves being. Why do we need him on TV every day? Except for the fact that he wants to be on TV every day. What new information is he saying? What? The Delta variant. Bro, get the vaccine. Okay. According to your numbers, 200 million people have had the vaccine, and our cases are up 300%. It's not the unvaccinated getting sick. It's the vaccinated. And that's okay. Getting sick is not an issue. Literally, Fauci said, we want nobody to get sick. What are you saying? You don't want people to get sick? To get sick? What are you, God? What do you have, all supernatural healing power? Our goal is to have no one get sick? What are you talking about? But so many people, again, oh yeah, Fauci's right. Well, we should never get sick ever again. Never get sick ever again. Wear your mask forever and ever, 3 or 4 of them. Fauci said so. Newsom said so. The great and powerful Newsom, he said so. So we're going to do it. And completely ignoring the fact that masks don't work, unless you have an N95. And even that wasn't meant to be used forever and ever. There's countless studies coming out. Let me just read you this. This is from a study done by Jeffrey H. Anderson. And he just cites, of course, Fauci talking about, masks are ineffective. I would never push masks on. This is what he said in 2019. I would never push masks if a pandemic were to actually happen. What I would say is work out, eat healthy, take care of your body. That's what he said. 2019, look it up, Fauci. It's a Bloomberg interview. Go ahead and look it up. That's what he said. So this study states mostly that. And then it also states, the studies that have been done about mask wearing in and of itself. Oh, he actually talks about the Surgeon General, the tweet he sent out back in the day. Seriously, people, stop buying masks. Jerome Adams said back in February. Oh, the science changed, Aaron. The science changed. No, science changes. The science is a cult. I listen to the science. I believe in the science. Well, when I question it, which is fine, which is what you're supposed to do, which you're supposed to poke holes in a hypothesis. You're supposed to poke holes in things, and that way, the conclusion can actually be sound and factual. But when you question things like saying, oh yeah, this virus might have been from a lab in Wuhan, the Wuhan lab of biology. It's like, no, whoa, how could you say that? But now it's accepted. Now it's an accepted actual theory that it could be from that lab leak. But at the time, it wasn't. Oh, well, science changed. No. Your reaction to what I'm saying has changed. The science itself hasn't changed. So as long as you're okay with what I'm saying, I'm allowed to say it. But up until that point of it not being okay, I am the worst person in the world wanting to kill grandma. Aaron, as Christians, we should wear a mask for our brothers. We should get vaccinated for I completely reject that. I completely reject that type of thinking. Reject it outright. You cannot convince me that. You cannot convince me of that. As a Christian, we should be wearing a mask. For who? For who? It's not effective. So if I don't wear a mask, do I not love others? Is that what you're basing my love off of? A mask? A vaccine? Listen, let me just say this. Get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. Bruh. It don't bother me none. I'm a libertarian. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. We can go on happy, go lucky. We can live a nice life. But when you start forcing it and start basing character off of it, now listen, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. That's a huge lie. And I'm waiting for you to wake up. I'm waiting for you to stop defending these people. Because they don't care. They're going to just keep doing them. And let me just say this. I might get some hate for this. No cop is a friend of mine that enforces these arbitrary, unlawful, unconstitutional rules and mandates. You're no friend of mine. Oh, I'm just doing my job. Until people fight back and push back against these stupid rules that are not based off of anything except for people's opinion and money, they will continue to do it. They will continue to enforce it unless people push back. Oh, Aaron, it's just policy. Don't enforce it. Don't enforce it. I was talking to someone, I won't name names, but I was talking to someone and they said, our board of education, gave our superintendent absolute power to, change the rules as far as masking and different things are concerned. And I said to them, I said, what is he, God? Like, we can't question anything? Like, oh, he made, all-powerful superintendent made this decision, so we must obey, must comply. What is that? We can't push back on that? Why? Let me just read you what he said about the masks. In some of the 14 RCTs, real life studies, that's what those are, that have tested the effectiveness of masks in preventing the transmission of respiratory viruses, 3 suggest, but do not provide any statistically significant evidence in intention to treat analysis that masks might be useful. The other 11 suggest that masks are either useless, whether compared with no masks, or because they appear not to add to good hand hygiene alone, or actually counterproductive. Of the 3 studies that provided statistically significant evidence in intention to treat analysis that was not contradicted within the same study, one found that the combination of surgical masks and hygiene was less effective than hand hygiene alone. One found that the combination of surgical masks and hand hygiene was less effective than nothing. And one found the cloth masks were effective than surgical masks. Masks are useless. They're useless. Mask mandates are useless. Useless. And yet, if you don't wear a mask, you're the worst person in the world and you can't question it or else you're going to get fired. And what really fired me up was these mandates. Because they come for everyone, y'all. They come for everyone. They're going to come for you in your workplace. They're not coming for unions right now because unions are heavily Democrat donors. So you're not seeing, where the federal, just recently Gavin Newsom said that K through 12 is going to have to get the vaccine. You know who's not having to get the vaccine in California? Teachers. You know why? Because they have a union. And you know who that union gives billions of dollars to? Democrats. You know, in New York, over 40% of teachers aren't vaccinated. And yet these Democrat politicians are forcing it upon the private people. Why? Their own people aren't getting the vaccine. The post office doesn't have to get the vaccine. Why? They're unionized. But Joe Biden said, oh, but the private sector, you must, or else. Clowns. And you defending them, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know when you're going to wake up. I really don't. And it's sad just waiting. It's just waiting. Because these vaccine mandates are going to come for you. They're going to come for the police. They are. These police enforcing these rules, these laws, these mask mandates in Australia. Now they're making Australian police get the vaccine, and this one person, I think it was one of the sheriffs there, was like, "Oh, I might have to quit." Yeah, because they come for you. And this might sound extreme, but I just want to read this poem that we all know, because I do think it's important. I do think it's relevant. And you might be like, "Oh, Aaron, that's so extreme." No, it's not. It's really not. Not anymore. Not anymore. Let me read this. First, I came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. Are you awake? This is probably the actually right time to say woke. Stay woke, y'all. Pay attention, man. Push back on things. Say something. Listen, I'm in a position where, if they were to force vaccines on teachers, on students, I would allow them to fire me. I would. Because of principle. I'm willing. I'm willing to give it up. I'm willing to give my career up. I understand where people aren't willing or can't afford to do that. I completely understand. But those that are in a place, push back, man. Say something. Like France and Italy. There's protests for 14 weeks in France, and you haven't heard anything about it. Why? Why? It's because of the people that you keep defending, that Americans keep defending, don't want you to hear about it. The media. They don't want you to hear about it. They want you to keep getting the shot that's making them money. Where Moderna's stock in 2020, March of 2020, was you could buy a share for $18. Now it's well over $400 in less than a year. Wow, they must have had some really good luck. Wow, their CEO must be great. Yeah, the federal government just funded them, and they don't have any liability with the vaccine. So, that's a safe bet. I'll put some money in Moderna. You don't think every health expert, quote unquote health expert, some politicians that are solely pushing the vaccine, saying there's no other remedy for COVID-19, you don't think they might have a little bit of money in Moderna? Aaron, that's conspiracy. No, it's not. It's just me being a realist. It's me just speaking objectively. You don't think someone with $10,000, $50,000 at the beginning of March, who saw wherever all this was coming, or July, would have put that money in Pfizer or Moderna or Johnson & Johnson just to make a little bit of money? You don't think that changes the tone of how they communicate about a vaccine? If I had $100,000 in Moderna, if I had $10,000 in Moderna, you don't think that might change the way I speak about vaccines and how heavily I push for them? I'd like to think it wouldn't. Actually, I know it wouldn't. I really do. I know it wouldn't. But you don't think that would change people? Of course it would. Of course. Putting money in the people or the companies that supply the vaccine. You don't think that changes how people communicate about it? Just maybe? Are we really that naive to think it wouldn't? Are we really that trusting to think that politicians have such a kind and good-spirited heart that all they care about is our bodily autonomy and keeping us healthy? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Come on, man. As Joe Biden would say, come on, man. That's a terrible Joe Biden impression. And doctors are stepping up, man. Over 3,000 doctors and scientists signed a declaration accusing COVID policymakers of crimes against humanity. Physicians' declaration produced by an international alliance of physicians and medical scientists strongly condemns a global strategy to treat COVID, accusing policymakers of potential crimes against humanity for preventing physicians from providing life-saving treatments for their patients and suppressing open scientific discussion. Suppressing. The document states that one-size-fits-all treatment recommendations have resulted in needless illness and death. Over 3,000 doctors and scientists signed this. Well, they're just not the experts. Who is? Who is? People that the government put in charge? Listen, this has become a right and left issue. I don't even know why vaccines are political. Listen, if you want to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. I'm not against it. I'm not even against scientists recommending. I just don't care. What I care about is them putting a gun to your head saying you get the vaccine or else you're fired. Or else you're going to get dishonorably discharged from the military. That's what I hate. That's what I can't stand. Dishonorably discharged. For what? Not getting a vaccine? That you will survive. You will survive it. Or at least you have almost 100% chance of survival. Forget about 99. That's like lost on people. You almost have 100% chance of surviving this thing. Nearly 100% chance of surviving COVID. Of being fine. Oh, well, a vaccine lessens your symptoms. So does being 19. So does being 21. So does being 30. So does being 40. So does being 55. So does being 59. Even over the age of 65, you might not even have symptoms of COVID. Might affect you a little bit harder, differently. We know that, right? We know who it affects more. Oh, well, the vaccine. Listen, if people were pushing the vaccine plus and or other treatments, I'd be like, okay, yeah, they have the right intentions. A vaccine is like wearing a seatbelt. Shut up. Wearing a mask is like wearing a seatbelt. Shut up. No, it's not. Not getting a vaccine is like driving drunk. Shut up. No, it's not. Come on. You don't believe that. And the people put in charge definitely don't believe that because they don't even wear masks unless there's a camera around. AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Lori Lightfoot, Gavin Newsom, Andrew Cuomo, Chris Cuomo, Don Lemon. And yet we keep defending them. Why? Why? I'm serious. Why do we keep defending these people who have shown time and time again that they are untrustworthy? That they do not have your best intentions at heart? Why? I just don't get it. When are we going to wake up? As a Christian, shut up. Thanks, Nate Amico, for saying shut up like that. Now I know how to actually say shut up. As a Christian, it's our duty. No, it's not. If you want to get it, that's fine. If that's the only way you can express your love and kindness and show Jesus, I don't know what to say to you. That's just not true. It's just not true. You've been lied to. You've been deceived. You know, I was talking to someone, I was like, I heard Jordan Peterson say it first, so I'll give him credit. But in one of the things that he was discussing, he said, you know, I might be wrong. That's what he said. I might be wrong. But I'm going to stand firm on my principles. 10 years from now, they might look back and be like, hey, he was wrong. I told someone that. So listen, I might be wrong. I don't think I am. The studies that I read don't show that I am on mask efficacy, on COVID itself, on giving vaccines to kids. But I'm willing to stand on principle. I'm willing to get fired over principle. I'm willing to do what it takes to make my voice heard because of principle. Because I see it. I see it, guys. I know, and I know a lot of you do too. I know it for a fact. I know a lot of you do too. And I'm grateful that there are people stepping up and pushing back. But those questioning, those defending, those saying, you know, it's for the greater good. Until it's not, like we're seeing in Australia, until it's not for the greater good and it's just for the bottom dollar. You know, I don't until hospitals continue to keep getting $10,000 for every vaccinated patient. Sorry, every vaccinated employee. Yeah, that sounds like a real greater good. Forcing people to have antibodies in their system, which the CDC says if they have antibodies in the system, there's no need for them to get the vaccine. But it doesn't matter to these hospitals because they will still force you to get the vaccine or else you're fired. Actually, you're not even fired. You're willfully quitting so that you can't qualify for unemployment. You guys realize how evil these people are? Are you done defending them? Are you done? They don't know your name. They don't care about you. The people that care about you are those that know you, those in your community, Jesus, if you believe in him, your pastor, your mom, your dad, your grandparents. Those are the people that care about you. These politicians with fake outrage, these unelected bureaucrats with faux outrage, with faux science, with cultish-like science. They don't care about you. They just want you to bend the knee, continue to bend the knee, and say, yes, master. And you might be like, Aaron, that sounds extreme. I don't know what to tell you. Because one of these days, they're going to mandate something that you don't like. And guess what? It's going to be too late. Because there's not going to be any people left. They've all been censored. They've all been taken off the internet to stand with you. Aaron, that's extreme. I don't think it is. Nip it in the butt. I think we're way past the butt. I don't know how this ends. I really don't. I don't think Trump's the answer. Oh, might offended people. Sorry. Maybe Ron DeSantis. Maybe Dan Crenshaw. Maybe Nikki Haley. Maybe Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know where this ends. Maybe when the founders of Black Lives Matter start protesting, maybe then we'll get the politicians' ears. Maybe. I hope they do. Hopefully these basketball players keep speaking out. I think his name was Isaac Johnson. I'm going to make sure that's correct. And Bradley Beal. And Draymond Green defending him. I hope these people keep speaking out, standing up, standing their ground. If not, I don't know who's going to be left. I don't know who's going to be left. Me, I'll stay. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Is it going to be you? Aaron, this is just in my battle. It's just a vaccine. It's just a mask. Until they're tackling you on the street, forcing you to wear a mask, arresting you for being outside when it's past curfew. Like we're seeing in Australia. When's enough enough? Seriously, when's enough enough? Listen, I love you guys. I totally broke the church is rule for this month about speaking negative. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm tired. Tired of people being censored. I'm tired of truth being shut down. I'm tired of people saying what's wrong is right and what's right is wrong, is left is right and right is left. They got your mind all the way messed up. Let me just read one more thing. In April 27, 2020, healthcare and pharmaceuticals. U.S. CDC has not seen link between heart inflammation and COVID-19 vaccines. May 22, 2021. That same publication, Reuters, U.S. CDC looking into heart inflammation in some young vaccine recipients. June 23rd, 2021. Reuters reports FDA to add warning about rare heart inflammation to Pfizer, Moderna vaccines. But if you were to say that at the beginning, you're called a crazy person, a liar. These people don't want you to think for yourselves. Questioning authority has become too much of a good thing, and it's killing people. One Al Cross wrote, "You must not do your own research," Forbes writes. when it comes to science. It's time to give up on facts, Slate writes. And the New York Times, don't go down the rabbit hole. Critical thinking, as we're taught to do it, isn't helping in the fight against misinformation. Do as I say, not as I do. And we won't have problems. But as soon as you disobey me, I'm going to send the National Guard. I'm going to send the police to your house, and you're going to get fired. The biopharmaceutical industry provides 75% of the FDA's drug review budget. Is this a problem? John Lamontina writes. Can I just get you thinking, guys? Can I just open your eyes a little bit? Jonathan Isaac was the basketball player's name. Are we done? Are we done? Kids under 15 have a better chance of getting hit by lightning than dying of COVID. Chance of dying from COVID, 1 in 1.7 million. Chances of getting hit by lightning, 1 in 700,000. Are we good? Are you guys done defending these ruthless dictators in our country? Or are you going to keep defending them? Let's wake up, people. Last thing I'll say. Comedian Dave Smith said, if you believe that basic human liberties are contingent upon consumption of a product from a giant pharmaceutical company that is in bed with the government, who made this product off of taxpayer money, that is shielded from liability from their customers by the government, then you are the fascist. And I tend to agree. Love you all. Praying for you, praying for this country, praying for Biden, praying for Kamala Harris, praying for Jim Justice, who is not on my good side, and we'll talk about him maybe more when I talk to my sister. Peace. Have a great day in the Lord. Praying for you all. I'm sorry for speaking negative. But listen, love you more than you probably know. And I actually do mean that. I'm not some faux politician speaking faux science. Peace.